Okay, I'm live. Tell Martha not to moan. Hey, girl. Oh, Mary, don't you? I need to stop raising this volume when the live is up and running. Good
Hey,
morning.
good morning. I'm gonna have the volume up a little bit.
Huh?
Can you hear me?
You're a little low, just a tad. Can you hear me?
Is it better now?
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, I had you on my
How are
Bluetooth.
you?
Good, Simone. How are
Oh,
you?
I'm good. I'm traveling right now, actually.
Where?
I had, yeah, I'm upstate New York.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so I did a gig last night. Everything is spiritual, of course, and I didn't go to bed till about 6 o'clock this morning.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so after this live, I'm just gonna be like ready to crash. But it was a
Yes.
beautiful experience. Everything all spiritual. I'm not gonna get into it right now, but it was a matter of us, just helping people move through a spiritual experience.
Yeah.
So it was pretty intense. You glow so well, and your skin is amazing.
I work really hard at it now. I have a skin therapist.
Oh, you have a skin therapist?
Yeah, I had to go get a skin therapist. Sometimes you just need it.
Oh, I need to look into that. A skin therapy. I've never heard that terminology before.
Yes, my girlfriend, her name is Jewel. She owns Flesh Studios here in Atlanta. She's
Uh-huh.
amazing. Gets me together. She's
Oh,
really good.
good.
Yeah, but
Okay,
wherever
good.
you are, you find a skin therapist. It's a thing.
Yes, I like that term, skin therapist. But thank you for, joining me this afternoon. It's 12 o'clock, Simone. This afternoon. I was so excited when I saw the work that you're doing.
Yeah, yeah,
And, in trying to come up with different concepts of who I want to be a part of the show, one of the things that came up was that I wanted someone to talk about, your home and how that should feel and look on a spiritual platform, right? Because
yeah,
oftentimes when I read people, it would sometimes come up that their home is in a mess. And
yeah,
it could be where the person is a hoarder, or they're not, their life is in a rush and the place is, not tidy. So in some cases, I have to advise folks, if you can't make the time, just hire somebody to come in and clean. But you also have to give your space some spiritual energy. So I was really, really excited when I see that you actually have it listed as one of the things that you offer when you're meeting a client to discuss, interior design for their home.
right.
And you also labeled it, you called it interior alchemy. So tell me, what is that?
So, uh, you posted my bio on your
Hmm.
page when you were promoting for our conversation,
Hmm.
and it's really about my journey. And how that started was I lost my mom 2 years ago. Well, in 2018, I lost my mom at the top of 2018, and so I've always been a spiritual person, but I didn't really know how to correlate myself with like a practice. Like it was just interesting to me that, I grew up Christian with Muslim backgrounds, with a lot of just different religious beliefs. And so I never
Hmm.
really found myself, I never landed myself. So when my mom passed away, that's when I sought my spirituality and it started to evolve within me.
Okay.
And the only thing that I could think about doing was creating a space in which I did healing, but I healed through an art form. And at the
Yes.
time, it happened to be that I was doing interior design with one of my clients who just always pushes me to just try to just do new things. Especially when it comes to my gift. Like, hey, do you want to try to, I need someone to do my interior design. Do you want to do it? So anyway, I came up with Interior Alchemy because I was realizing that what I was doing was I was transforming a space from one thing to another. And so that's how Interior Alchemy, the idea of it came about. And in the midst of that, to answer your question, I was reading The Alchemist, the book, and I found the entire book. I mean, it was like I was on the middle of his journey. And as every day I would read a little bit, it was like I was, I was finding something on a spiritual level.
Do you put yourself, well, let me just take this one thing at a time. If I'm a client, do I come to you and I says, okay, I want you to spend some time on the spiritual energy of creating my space? Or do I just say to you, okay, I want you to just design like, how do I approach you with what I'm looking for?
I don't really have an answer for that just yet, because I've just been aligned with whoever needs my services or whoever needs to hear whatever I need to say to them. It just comes out of my work. So in the midst of me, so now when I go to meet with a client, now I know how to identify with what I am to work with, the elements I have to work with within someone. And that's just easy as exchanging energy and finding out where they are on their spiritual journey, in their day-to-day lives, and where are their setbacks. So people have not come to me and said, Ashley, come and just do my home. It's usually they have a dilemma. They want to change something about their home. They don't know what it is they're trying to communicate, and they can't seem to do it themselves, or they don't have the time to do it themselves. But that's when I come in and I figure out how to make the best living experience within the home, treating the home like we do the human body. So our souls dwell within a physical experience. So where does the physical experience dwell? In a home. Yes. And that's like important. That's why I want people to understand, it's literally where we go to charge. So we think we're so disconnected from our home. We're not. We have to go somewhere. And if our home is a mess, if it's not a reflection of our personality, a reflection of our beliefs and where we're trying to go, then what are we doing in there?
Yes. Yeah. And that is so important, because it floors some of my clients as well when I'm reading them and I have the ability to start to tour their home, and I can point out a few things. Well, this cupboard needs a little arranging. You need to change the color of this wall. And they're floored because they say, I don't, my house doesn't feel like a home. Right. And then we discuss, the purpose of earth being in flowers in the space and all those kind of things. So do you take into consideration the client's spiritual practice? Like if they're a Christian, if they're a Muslim, do you take that, and how do you work with that?
You know what? I literally just take the person where they are in their lives. Right. So we always get down to that conversation about, can you hear me? Did it pause? Just.
Yeah, I'm
there.
Okay, you're pausing a bit. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, but you're pausing a little bit with me. I need these technological demons to just get away, and let's have our conversation, please.
I know, we're trying to have our conversation.
We're trying to talk here and they're all busy doing our stuff. Okay, I think it's there now.
Okay. Yeah. So I was saying that everybody's on a different journey in life, right? Whether it be a spiritual journey, it's definitely a spiritual journey, whether you know it or not. But everyone's on a different space in their lives. So I just come in and I respect where they are, and I utilize some of the practices that I know from what's comfortable for them within my design, but not heavy emphasis on like religious
Yes.
territory, but more just spirituality. Where are you spiritually? Because they all say the same thing, you know, when we're talking about a
Mhm.
supreme being, higher power, love. It's all the same. It's the same language to me.
Mhm. So we have these elements that we work with. We have elements of nature and we have elements of earth. So I talk about these elements when I'm discussing building an ancestral altar. You know, with your altar, you must have fire, which would be the candle, earth, which is a plant, or if you have fresh flowers, wind, when you burn your incense. What's the other one? I always water, you know, because that incorporates everything. How do you how do you set up a space, and it is part of your design process? Do you incorporate these things? That's my
Yeah.
question.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. When the question
Mhm.
comes up, is like, how do I do what I do? It all
Mhm.
just communicates to me in the moment. It's not like a thing where I have like a list where I check it off, but all the
Right.
elements. And you had asked me in the original email, or you had posed the question, would it be 5 elements that I resonate
Yes.
with, or is it 7? And it's
Yes.
that you asked that because just recently I've been heavy emphasis on 7 as opposed to 5 elements. So we have earth, we have water, we
Yes.
have, I'm sorry, we have earth, we have
Fire.
water, we have
Mhm.
air, fire,
Yes.
and am I missing one
I,
space?
yeah, we doing the 7 or the 5? I
I'm
always the 5, right?
the
So it's earth, water, fire, air, and space.
in
I
space.
trust me, that's always my problem too.
Okay, no. So then, and then is it? Then it was, and it's dark and light are the
Dark
additional.
and light, correct. Yes.
Now, what I'm realizing is that not to get too deep because I can go down a rabbit hole with this, but I really work with the moon cycle a lot, and the moon really resonates with me when it comes to my spirituality. So at night, a lot of things are illuminated to me, and that's why I'm sometimes most creative at night or first thing in the morning when it's like light to from dark to light.
Light. Mhm.
So yeah, in my design, I've noticed that I'm able to control um, the energy in the space when I'm working with it where it needs heavy emphasis on light and on dark.
Mhm.
Whether that's in the sleeping space, the quarters where the family visits a lot, the
Mhm.
colors on the wall, all of those things kind of are heavy emphasis in my design aesthetic, as well as objects that are light and dark, because it's like that duality. So it's really just
Mhm.
interesting. And it really just depends on, again, what I'm drawing from the client. Does the client need more feminine care? Like, because we all have both in us,
Yes.
feminine and masculine.
Masculine.
And
Yep.
the dark. It's just all, so it's all about just the balance in the house. And sometimes I don't always use symmetry, which is funny. You know, sometimes people don't need symmetric everything.
Yeah.
They need just, you know, different levels. And that's kind of like how our bodies communicate with each other and how it's just how we interact throughout the day. So
Right.
if that
Right.
all makes sense in any way.
Yeah. What I want to also tell our audience is please feel free to ask questions. You just type the questions in the comment section and I would read them to Ashleigh. So just take advantage of this energy right now and ask any questions that you may have. The other thing I want to talk about is the 7 directions. The reason why I'm bringing up all these different spiritual alignments is because at times it is important how we set up certain things, how we move in our space. And once you get into that space, what I'm getting from you is that the energy speaks to you as to where is to go what and what is to set up where. Are you with me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I saw that you traveled there for a bit. No, you closed
Okay.
your eyes like you went somewhere.
No,
Right? So,
I'm sorry. I'm listening.
yeah, okay. And one of the things I am aware of is the direction of which I pray, right? And I'll tell you a really weird story that happened to me. I was doing a ritual in a basement, and I was given the direction as to have the ritual facing east. right? So obviously we're in a basement, and I don't know north, south, east, or west.
Right.
But I forgot that directive, and I just started setting up my ritual in this direction, let's say, right? So I'm doing my thing. My girlfriend, she was helping me because, you know, some of my rituals is just for me, right? So she was like, Simone, you forget you're supposed to face east, right? When you're doing this thing. So this is our second night of doing these rituals. She's like, I was like, damn, don't tell me now I'm doing this thing wrong. So when she checked, she pulled out her phone and checked the compass. And I kid you not,
Oh, ask you, did she do that?
it was east.
Mm-hmm.
It was east. It was east.
Yeah.
And I have tears in the back of my eyes remembering that moment, because I all remember her too. She's saying, oh shit. And I said, well, what happened? I have it wrong? She says, no, you got it right. And we're
Yeah.
in the basement. There are no windows. I can't see a sun come up or down, you know? So I understand fully when you say you get into the space and you allow the space to speak to you as to
Yeah.
what it wants. And
Yeah.
also to tell you what the occupants may need as well for that space if the occupants cannot communicate that, right? So obviously I had to go back and do my research as to what each point means. And when you face east, if you know what, like the Muslims, they face east to pray, and that's where spirit is, right? And each north, south, east, west, up, down, north, up, down, north, south, east, west, and then up and down.
Right.
Do these things also resonate with you when you are working with a space?
So I love that analogy
Yeah.
because it is often the information that I get. You know, there are times when I'm traveling and I can't really, well, not that I can't, I don't pay attention to
Mhm.
my compass or have to worry about that because I'm given a directive where to set
Yeah.
up. I'm
Yes.
given on what to do on the spiritual side. And so I just go with it. And I bet you if I check my compass, it would be east too.
That's the thing. That's the
Yeah.
thing. That's the thing. And
Yeah.
and when I read my clients and they talk about this feeling and this energy they're not sure of, I says you have to trust the process. And I often tell the story about, I often tell them my basement story, right?
Yeah.
Where I was just going, we know that spirit was present with me and making sure I'm protected in the space in doing my rituals, right? Now, I have a space. I can't afford you yet, right? What are some of the key things that I should do to make my space my own?
Um, that's it's really interesting because it's like building your intuition is very strong. So I just tell people um, to first meditate. Just get in a practice of meditation and communicating that the answer to that, right? Because
Yeah,
it's so different for everybody. But
buddy. Mhm.
there's certain things that I automatically know that will change the energy in a space.
Mhm.
And that is number one, making sure that your entryway is open and clear of all objects. There shouldn't be an object unless it has a way for like, so let's say you open your door. And like in my client's home that I did, of course, I placed a table in the foyer, right? But I have enough space within that. It's space over the table and space around the table for the energy to flow, right? Because we don't want to block anything in our entryway. It's really reflective of ourselves. It's like
Yes.
in the middle of who you are. As long as you can see through the space, you're good. So I tell
Mhm.
people just to pay attention to their entryway. It's very important. Make sure all the clutter in your house, all that old mail in them drawers, all those clothes that you have stuffed in the back of a closet, all of the old coats that are sitting in there and you haven't worn them for 3 seasons, get them out of your house. It's holding on to old energy that you don't need. You could smudge all day long in every corner of your house, but you got them old closets up there and all that stuff crammed in your drawers. The energy it's still in there. You got to
Yeah.
get it out.
Yes.
Another thing, always keep a flow of air open. So if you can open a door and open another window, it just needs a way to exit
Yes.
out. in, come out. You just need to keep the energy flowing as often as possible. That's why, you know, you're growing up and your mom would clean on Saturdays or Sundays, and she would open those windows, you know,
Yes.
it would just feel so good. And it smelled and felt nostalgic. That's what it does.
Yes.
Pay attention to the colors. When you walk into a room, ask yourself, how does this make me feel? Is this room uplifting? You know, and it could just be the lighting. It could be the lighting, the color of the room. It all plays with each other. With who I am, just start there. Just start there. And then as you start to ask yourself that, then yourself will then answer you. No, I don't like it here. This ain't it. I need more of this and less of, you know, and it will start to talk to you. And the good thing about what I do is I'm no God and I don't have all the answers, but I just allow spirit to move through me. And so if I'm helping someone to get there because I have energetically opened myself up for this, then we can come up with something together. And hopefully, you know, the space is more energetically aligned.
What is the importance of having plant life in your home? Why is that important, or is it not?
Plant life?
Yeah, like plants. Like I'm trying really hard now. The winter, the cold weather is coming. You know, to deal with my plants.
So plants are extremely important. They are of utmost importance. When I go into people's homes and they don't have anything living in the home, it is one of my key indicators that, okay, we got to do a little work. There's nothing alive besides you in this home. It's a problem. That's
a problem. Yeah.
But that's okay. It's just people say always, whenever that comes up and I'm talking to them about I kill plants. Oh, no, I kill plants. That kills me. Like, no, take the time and connect with the plant that you could serve, that could serve you. That's low maintenance. If you need something low maintenance, start there. But plants are vital. They let off oxygen. They communicate with you. You show that you can keep something else alive. It is a pure representation of you in another form. It's a plant.
Right. To my audience again, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments, please. You have listed on your website. I just like first of all, I love the energy of your website because it speaks to who you are and what I see within you, the words that you choose. You talk about wellness design. Like I never, everybody talks about feng shui. And if you realize in my comment, in my questions to you, I didn't even bring that up at all. Because I felt as if, first of all, it's not even mentioned, if I could remember correctly, on your website. But I feel that you are not attaching a label like that to what the experience you're bringing to your clients. Am I correct?
You're correct. Yep.
Yeah. It's like you are creating for each of your client, you will name what that, or they will name what that exchange of energy in regards to their home is. Yes. And I felt very comfortable with that because whenever, you know, someone will say, well, what are you talking about this Sunday? And I mention it, it's like, oh, you're talking about feng shui. I says, it's a little bit different than that.
Yes.
Do you think, so how is that to you? How would you explain that then?
I really respect feng shui and I get it. You know, I when I'm reading it, some things don't really resonate with me. And I think I should listen to that, right? I think that's an indicator that, because I take a lot of ancestral knowledge in with my energy exchange with the house. So it's not just feng shui per se. Feng shui is one idea of it all. But even I was going to share with this book with you guys, your audience. Basically, there's another form of like feng shui, which is energy alignment with the architectural of the space. And Vastu Shastra, if I'm saying it right, I never really could say this right, but I just call it Vatsu. This is the name. It's by Shri Say Swami.
Yes.
Anyway, it
Guys,
talks.
I'm gonna post it when I post the video on my thread. I'll put this information on there because I know folks are gonna ask me what was the book she was talking about. So
Okay.
I'll get that information and post it as well. But continue.
Yeah, so I was reading because I was trying to teach myself about feng shui before I'm just like go get certified and being a feng shui master and all of that. I just felt it was bigger than that. It was almost like me taking one ideal and just going with it with life when I know that I have many ways to get to the same thing. So I
Yeah.
want to kind of that information.
Mhm.
So feng shui gave me a lot of principles, and they it's almost like religion a little bit. It's like feng shui versus vastu shastra. It all says the same thing,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
we just get there differently with different storylines.
Yeah.
That makes
Yeah.
but wait, what was the question again? What was I saying?
Right.
I'll be
Like you
lost.
created your own way
Yes,
of sort of just right with your clients and the
yes.
design. Yeah.
So yeah, so I literally just in that communication, that dialogue, I don't want to put too much emphasis on one thing, right? I do take information from it and I see where it can be applied to the client's dilemma
Yeah.
or exchange, but that's it. That's it.
Yes. We have one question here from Sweet TW. Do you use crystals in your design? Do you have any tips or suggestions?
So I'm just now starting to get a little bit more familiarized and comfortable with crystals. I've always been attracted to them because my mom, we grew up with crystals in the house. She never really spoke to me about this. She was always very spiritual, but she never really got into details about her spirituality.
Mhm.
She just kind of let me find my own way. It was like she didn't want to push it on me. If that makes
Mhm. Yeah.
um so we grew up with crystals. So they were there, but I didn't know much about them. But now I resonate with certain crystals when I go into a home and I do a space clearing. I have certain crystals that I carry with me.
Mhm.
And so I'm diving more into it, but I do use them within my practices. I just haven't gotten to a point where I'm leaving them at the client's house or
Yeah.
making suggestions on crystals just yet.
Yes. Yeah. So you also mentioned in your wellness design energy aligning. What does that look like? Or what is that basically?
So an energy alignment is just creating an energetic flow between yourself and the home that raises your vibration. And
Mhm.
so it's so many different components to that. So it's not like a one answer type of thing.
Yeah.
It's keeping you in your highest vibrational self so that things are moving smoothly throughout your house. So me seeing the need in someone and where it's lacking in the space, I just
Mhm.
kind of come in and make suggestions for them to be aligned energetically. It's kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
hard. I mean, it's like asking, like it's like a Reiki specialist being able to tell you completely all about chakras. We know that they're
Mhm.
there. We know that they need to be aligned, but we don't
Mhm.
know, not the average mind doesn't know a lot of information on what chakras are supposed to do and why they're there. It's like that in the
Right.
so that's what I do.
Yeah. Do you advise your clients on whether they should have their home blessed? What is your opinion on that?
I think you should do whatever feels good for you and your soul.
I think that is so on point. I remember growing up when we moved into our home, my parents built their own house. They called the reverend to bless the place. And when he left, I was like, isn't here supposed to feel different? Because it didn't, it didn't make any sense to me. And like, because I'm thinking if you're blessing somebody's home, when that person leaves, there's an energy shift.
Mm.
There's an energy shift. And I was like, Ma, we could have skipped that. Or we could have done it ourselves. Because nothing nothing really shifted with it. But anyhow, that was just
But what
my
I like about that is that
my
it's intention behind it though. So
yes.
the idea is maybe the person just comes in and just acts as the catalyst for
Yeah.
you doing the work. It's like, well, when I leave, this is what you need to do. And so you start to think like, oh, I want to keep it feeling like this because they
Yeah.
that's what they sought.
Yes.
So then it happens because you're manifesting it. So I think
Yes.
it's intention.
Yeah, because even when I go in to bless people's homes, I always leave them with something and teach them how to continue the work. Because it's
Yeah.
not necessary that I'm going to roll up in your home every few months or every few weeks to be doing this.
Yeah.
You must be able to protect your space as well when I'm gone, and to keep the energy, again, is the intentions,
Yeah.
right? So to keep the energy moving. And like I talk about to my clients in spiritually cleaning their homes, how to mop out and mop in, how to
Yeah.
sweep
Okay.
out. And yeah, it is. There is an, and my spiritual mother taught me that. So it is, and what products to use
Yep.
when you're cleaning your home spiritually, right? So I talk to my clients about that too. I said, listen, you got to mop your house. At least we managing this once a week. Throw
Mm-hmm.
some Florida water in there, throw some vinegar in there, put some lemon juice in there, some salt, and just mop towards the entrance. You're mopping all of that stuff out. And then
Yep.
if you're not lazy, you can mop in and you add some like essential oils in there. And mopping in means you're bringing in the good stuff. You know what I'm
I
saying?
love I love that you said that because I don't do it myself, right? But with my
Mhm.
clients, after I'm done with their home and the continued services, I use a service here in Atlanta. My
Yeah.
girlfriend Michelle, she got me into essential oils, and I
Yeah.
love them. Oh my gosh, like changed
Yes.
my life.
Yeah.
But she does a cleaning with her products. So I go through and I do like a walk through, like a spiritual cleanse, and I just see what the
Yeah.
home needs to move stuff. And then she comes in and she incorporates essential oils, and
Mhm.
boy, it changes the game.
Yes.
It changes
Yes.
the game.
Yes, yes, for sure. Those essential oils are key. And
Mm-hmm.
you can add them to your mop water, right? I mean, you don't douse the whole water in them, just like 3 drops or 4 drops. And also do the research as to what each essential oil is good for, right? And you can incorporate
Mm.
these things into your back. I mean, the whole cleansing process is not just your body. But again, I wanted to reiterate why I'm having you here. It also incorporates your home. And the Christians have a saying of cleanliness is next to godliness. I'm not saying that you have to be a neat freak, but you have to have a space when you come in from the outside world. You just take all that shit off at the door.
That's
and
right.
i and i want to share one of the things that, because I share the things, I try to incorporate these things into my life too. Back when I was working, I had a 9 to 5. I would light a scented candle as I get dressed for work. Some people play music, which is good, but I have the candle lit, and I'm getting dressed. I out the candle. So when I come back in from work, my home smells amazing,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm here. So it's
But
these little things. Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say when you do that, your space has to also be clean too. So when that your
Yes.
space is clean and that smell,
Oh my God. You don't want to leave your house. And that's why I said this. And when you talk about the clutter in the cupboard and in the drawer and behind the bed and under the bed and all that stuff, you need to clear out, and you will start to feel different with yourself, and have a different energy as to how you approach your day. It really works. So what is the
I want
what
a
do you
story
go
about,
ahead.
and just a quick story.
Go ahead.
I had a client we were talking, and she was just like, Ashleigh, I have a lot of blockages in my life. Well, she had heard me talk about some spiritual things, but she was just talking about, she knew work wise, she had blockages, emotional, relationship. There was blockages in her life. And I remember saying, okay, I'm going to come over this Friday, but I need for you to do a few things before I get there. I was like, send me a picture of, open up your closets, open up your drawers, and send me a picture of all your spaces, right? She was so embarrassed. She didn't want to send the pictures. I said, let's go on FaceTime right now. Let's just get it done. So we FaceTime. And when I tell you, that's why I told you the story about making sure the areas don't have
Yeah.
clutter in them.
Mhm.
Because in every area that you could not see in her life, her home was beautiful. But in
Mm-hmm.
areas that you could not see, she stored stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sis, here we go.
Yeah.
You got stuff stored, and as if we can't see, just because we can't see it, it doesn't exist.
This. Yeah.
Um, that is right there. That's deep. It says a
Yes.
lot. It's a lot about where
Yes.
you need. So that
Yes.
I just
Yeah.
wanted to
And
share that story. Oh, sorry.
mhm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, but you're right, because sometimes we think it's outside forces when it's just our space, and things will start to open up for us. What do you hope to do with this wellness design for the community, for homes? Where do you want to take this? Where do you see yourself going with this?
Why I'm doing what I'm doing. I have no other desire for anything else except the most important thing to me. It is. Can you hear me? Oh, it's a part of my destiny.
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
And
Mhm.
it's for the collective energy, and it is okay. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, it's for it's directly related to the work I'm going to be doing with the community that I'm already doing. I'm just breaking ground right now. I wish I could share it more with you, but I'm manifesting it. I'm developing it, so I can't talk a lot about it. Um,
Okay.
but it's well reaches it reaches my
Yeah.
community. Yeah.
Okay. So, um, when you do release it, can let's come back on here and let's talk about
I
it.
got.
Yeah, give us first dibs on it.
Oh man,
Like, yeah.
it's deep, but it helps us. So I follow Queen Afua, and I love what she's doing. It's just I just love everything about her energy and her movement. It resonates a lot with me, and I love how she's so many women, and I think our tribe is very important for the work that we have to do here. Actually,
Yes.
so with
Yes.
that, I'm gonna come on here. I'm gonna talk all about it.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. When it's done, it's cool. I'll tell
Talk
you, I
all
am
about
writing a
it.
book.
I want you.
Oh,
But I also want to show.
look, hey, let's go.
I
Let's
want
do
to
a
show
show.
where you going to. Yeah, I want to show too. I'm just telling you what I want.
Okay,
I love
okay.
the idea of a book, but I also want to show where you can teach us how to make a space our own.
Everyone
I'm
keeps
not good at, huh?
everyone keeps asking for this show, and I'm trying. I'm
Well,
getting
then
there.
I'm not far off. Well, this is confirmation then. A
Yes.
show will be brilliant. You come
Yeah.
on live, just like
Yeah.
how I'm doing here, just not in my time slot. And you teach us how to set certain things up. You take us into a store and says, okay, this can go with this, or if you're color blocking or whatever the terms are, because you have a beautiful energy, and it is your light, like your energy is very light, and very calming and balanced, right? So I would feel good to see we're in, whatever space a designer, and also to showcase, and I'm not trying to read you here, but also to showcase black and brown designers in terms of their furniture or their art or whatever they're doing, and let's see what other options we have, instead of going to, I don't want to call somebody's store name and then I get sued or some shit,
Don't
but
don't.
you know what I'm saying. But we need, because there are so many of us out there doing this work, but there's no platform.
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
the lady who is a felon who's into home decor, she's not going to show our work. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm, something here is whispering to me to tell you that is an avenue you really need to look into.
Yeah.
because I would prefer, or even if you decide to come up with your own line of furniture, maybe not. But if we can
Oh,
find some,
why you over there? You better.
right, like, you know, my foot is on your neck, right? So my
You
foot is
are
on your neck.
listen. This is all confirmation. Just FYI,
Just
like
exactly.
it's
So you need to get it done. And there are also some designers that are on here who are watching you. And it is good if we have a collective, right? Whereas if I'm in Atlanta, I can say, um, I'm looking for an interior designer. You know, let me check, Ashleigh. And I know there's an organization for Black interior designers, right? There's one, right?
yeah,
But the ordinary person doesn't know about that. I only know about that because very good friend of mine, Julie Ben. I don't know if she's on the live or not. She's part of that, and she's been doing interior design. That's all she talks about from the time we were teenagers,
yeah,
you know. But we need to have a solid platform of you guys, so when the ordinary, you know, Mary Joe can find you and hire you.
yeah, yeah. Listen.
I'm not.
I'm definitely open
Yeah, I'm
to the
listening,
show
honey.
idea. It's just like, oh, I gotta just be exposed. I'm ready though. I'm just saying.
Yes,
But yeah,
I mean it
you're
will
right.
be amazing. Yeah, it will be
Yeah,
amazing. But not only that, and I'm picking and choosing what I'm telling you, huh?
good.
Because somebody's here. Travel to different places and take your camera with you and show us where we can get stuff. If you go
Okay.
to India, or if you go to
Good.
Tijuana, Mexico, and you
Good.
got those little street joints where they have like some amazing things. And it back, you know what I'm saying? You're still building. So yeah, I'm asking them to be quiet. So yeah. Yeah,
No,
that's
well,
it.
it's okay. You don't have to ask them to be because confirmation. It's all just. I mean, this is literally what keeps me up at night. So
Yeah.
thank you. I mean, it's just more so like I'm so excited to share stuff with with the collective of energy that receives me well,
Yeah.
and it's part of my journey, and so I just have to do it. Got to suck it up and just do it, and
You got to do.
it's
Listen.
liberating. It's beautiful.
Yes. 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 And it seems as if you're to lead this collective because of your light energy, LIGHT, right? Your light energy, your balance, your chill. You're not like in people's faces and forcing anything on them. And there is a need for us, Black and brown people, designers, interior designers, to be seen and heard, especially among us who would prefer, because I would prefer to hire you than, you know, and show us where we can go to buy stuff from
Yeah.
us. You know,
Yes.
do you have an idea why interior design chose you? Do you know why?
Yes. It is a part. So my mother was an interior designer,
Yeah.
um, and so it was how I healed, because I was looking for the connection that I had lost in that moment. I was looking for that connection, but I'd already been being prepared for this all my life. I mean, my mom would take me to thrift
Yeah.
stores. She would show me things. She would she would give me like lectures, but it was like fun lectures because I loved just exploring things with my mom. Um,
Mhm.
when she passed, it was like a torch was being passed over to me, like kind of energy.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I did it with ease. I went from fashion, I had a 12-year run in fashion, to quickly being able to say, oh, okay, I'm just changing now. So that's why it chose me. As far as dating back before that, I don't, I'm not sure. I think I know. Um, but it's just
Mhm.
a creative outlet for me uh, to express myself.
Yeah.
So.
And I thank you for sharing your gift with us. I thank you for allowing us into your space and, you know, for us to be able to see what we can do with our own space. Is there anything else you want to share with
Yeah.
um, our guests before we leave? Tell me.
Um, just that I have a lot in the works right now in the pipeline of different expressions of myself. Some of the things that you've already named, and that I'm very appreciative of the community that supports me and has been encouraging me to keep going. Um, it's so on time for me,
Yes.
and it's confirmation every time I make a decision to do something, how supported by the universe I am. And it shows every day in my work.
Ashe, Ashe, for real. And I just want you to know that Readings by Simone is here to support you as you move forward. Um, you can message me or call me anytime in any way, shape, or form. You know, you need help in bringing all of this together because, again, they're on my shoulders. Like, make sure she understands this is important, her role. And I'm telling them, yes, she knows. Just allow us, please. You know? But I want to thank you for coming on Sacred Conversations and sharing with us how we can make our home a better space. And so I have two questions. The live is going to be saved, and you can view it as soon as we're finished. I plug them up, and they will also be on YouTube at Readings by Simone. And
That
someone,
at the bottom, because I had something's on my shoulder telling me I need to make sure that my audience that may be tuning in knows who you are and
right,
what you
and
do.
usually I pin our information, and I totally forgot. I want to share. Actually, I'm not in my space where I usually am because I was part of a celebration last night. I won't get too much into it. We're a group of women. We're just, on a spiritual journey, and I was there to help them move through it. And so I didn't go to bed till about 6 o'clock this
And you
morning.
were telling me, "Ooh,
Yeah,
girl."
I go to bed, and then I got up at 9 because my head is focused on um getting ready for you and being on time. So I know later on is I'm gonna crash. We were outside in a dome.
Oh, oh,
Yep.
that was fun.
I'm upstate New York, honey. We in the woods. I'm looking for the nearest bear here. And I'm looking for a bear. I'm like, where are the deers? Where's and it's pitch black.
Wow.
And it's I think I hopefully I got everybody's good. It's pitch black out here, and last night we had to move around with our phones for light or also a torch. Like, so we're in this dome and we're burning sage and lavender, and we have tea lights going. It was amazing.
I know it was. Ooh,
It was amazing.
last
Huh?
night. This is the new moon right now. The new moon is Scorpio.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay.
And it started to get really cold, so we had to move back. Although we had a heater, that heater was not enough. We had to move back into the house.
Okay.
And then the spirit really started to move, and things started to get really sweet, I should say. So I was just here to monitor everybody, make sure everybody was okay, and going through their experience. And this is something that I will be doing for my birthday, the first weekend in January. So we're going to get some more information on that. And at some point, I think us in the collective too should get together and, just have these healing moments or times for folks to tap into, to rebuild and come out. You know what I'm saying? So just
Yeah.
know for 2021, I will be reaching out to you so we can do something maybe in Atlanta where you are, or you fly over here to New York, and we just have people in spaces and show them how this thing really works, just outside of being, on this life. And
Yes.
that's how
Oh,
we get connected.
would love it. That's what I'm ready for that. Okay.
Yeah,
That,
yeah. So for my birthday weekend, and I'm going to release all of this December 9th, is going to be a Friday night, a Saturday night, and a Sunday brunch.
okay. Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So we'll have one night we're going to do a vision board. Another night we're going to do crystal healing, Reiki healing, candle work, all this. So it's going to be a series of different things happening. And
Okay.
we're looking to move around New York State, but also come to other cities if folks are interested in having us, pull the whole thing together. And then, like I said, if we're coming down to Atlanta, of course, I'd like to incorporate you into a session of wellness design, right? So this is
So I would
my
love that.
platform that I'm building, right?
Okay.
So when you're ready to build your platform, we do this energy exchange thing and keep things really flowing nicely.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. Well, your birthday is the first weekend in January. My birthday is the last weekend in January, I think.
Really?
Yeah, so I think I would like to do that also. If you want to make your way down here, we could do it for my birthday.
Hell
And then so everybody can come out.
yeah!
Because
Well, George is the spot now because
girl, George, bye.
listen, the black women down there just tearing shit up.
Look, I was supposed to come back here. I was in LA, living my little life.
Uh-huh.
I thought that I was doing it, and I got calls. Something said, "Take your ass back to Atlanta," and I moved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when that happens, because I was getting ready to move to, I was like, I'm out of New York. I'm thinking about New Orleans, and I ran it by my priest. He's like, you what? Nah, honey. No, it's not New Orleans. It's New York, right?
It's New
Because
York.
I have to do certain things before I can move forward with what I'm doing. So I just wanted to let you know that this is the concept we're moving with for 2021. And I think it's important that, all of us as healers or spiritualists or mediums or designers or whatever energy we have, we should create spaces for our followers, our viewers, our clients to come together, feed off of some of our energy, we feed off of their energy and keep the thing going. If
Yeah.
2020 hasn't taught us anything, is that we got to lean on each other.
Yeah. Ooh.
We got to lean on, we're all we got.
Yeah.
I keep telling folks that we're all we got.
Yeah.
So, and Essence of Ashleigh, she just joined. So she's going to be partnering with me. I just put her on the spot. She's like, this chick is just insane. She'll be partnering with me on that first weekend in January.
Oh.
Right. And so for sure, I'll bring her in, if we're going to be heading down to Atlanta, and just so you see, what she's about as well.
I love that.
Yeah.
This community is expanding, and it's very exciting for me to see who else is walking this path.
Yeah.
When it first comes, and I don't know how everyone got to their spiritual journey, but when it first
Yes.
comes, jolted, and you're so alone, and you're so confused because you're trying to change your consciousness, you're trying to change your reality, change the energy, and it's not easy. So finding that's why I told you I love Sister Afua and just what she has going on.
Yeah.
Anyone who is in that work, we are in that work, that we highlight that.
Yes.
That's just where.
The other piece of it too, I'm seeing Color Me Choco on here, and I've been, she's changed up sacred conversations for me in terms of the look she creates my flyers. And it's important too, she's a young woman in her mid-20s, that we have these young women right by our sides as we move through this process.
Yes.
Because we would like for them not to have some of the same experiences that we went through.
Yeah.
And, just create a smoother path. I mean, they still have to go through the bullshit, the heartbreak, the cry, eat a bowl of ice cream, for 5 hours straight. But we still have to create spaces too for young women to feel safe and also to learn from us as well. Because I know in growing up, developing my spiritual life, I sat among a lot of older spiritual women who would oftentimes blow my mind And they
Yeah.
were like, okay, Simone, you have to do this, you have to, and I had to watch them in order to learn. Like I told you, I mentioned that mopping out and mopping in. My
Right.
spiritual mother taught me that. You know, I didn't read that in a book. I didn't get that off of Google. She taught me that. And these are the things that we have to pass on to these young women so they know how to take care of their spaces, and they know to take care of their families, and they know to take care of their children.
Yep.
And I think these sessions that we develop, we should have at least one or two of them there so they can see us moving around.
Yeah.
Because that's how I learned a lot of the stuff that I know now.
Yeah. Is
Is
that,
watching older women.
yeah. It's that wisdom that you got that from.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes. And that is so important. And that's African spirituality across the board. You
And that's
know, that,
earlier when I told you why I don't limit myself to feng shui, because there's so many ancestral
yes,
wisdom and indigenous wisdom that I have.
yes.
I can't limit myself to just.
They would think that that was the beginning of the whole thing. And as you realize, I didn't bring that. When I sent you the questions, I
Yeah,
didn't put that any of the questions. You realize that, right?
I saw it.
And yeah, yeah. And the beauty of it is nobody even asks that in the question section, because I thought someone would have brought it up,
Yeah.
but no one did, because we understand that we have to create our own energy in our own spaces, and whatever works for us as an individual is what it is.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
So, with that being said, I want to thank everyone for joining us this afternoon. My name is Simone. I'm with Readings by Simone. That's readings _ Simone. I'm here for your spiritual readings. You can find all my information on my page. And Ashleigh, tell us where we can find you.
I like for people to follow me on my interior design page. If you want to get into my personality, now that's my other page.
Okay, different, yeah.
That's my very earthly self, and that's at Ash Money. You can follow me either way. And that's pretty much it. And you can get in contact with me by my email, which is associated with there's a link on this page here on my interior design page, and then it's also listed on my website.
Yeah. So all that information on how to reach us, I'm going to put it in the body of the live once I post it, and you could find us at any time, at anywhere. Ashleigh, thank you. We will be in touch. I'm going to send you my personal telephone number.
Okay, perfect.
Not the one that's on the page.
You would have thought, just for the audience, they
Yeah.
would have got a reading by you, and that's why we were doing this. And I was just like, we just found each other, and I like how
Yes.
that was really
Yeah, yeah,
organic.
yeah. Because Spirit knew I was looking for somebody to talk about this particular topic. And what triggered it, you like something on my page, or you said something, and I'm like, who's this pretty girl? And then, yeah, I looked. I was like, the Spirit said, well, go look and see who she is. And then I look and I look. I was like, this is the show I've been wanting to do. That's
Yeah,
how this happened. And we haven't even met in person. I mean, like,
nothing.
half of the people that I interview on this thing I've never met. So that's another energy.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
But it's crazy and good. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Simone.
And we will be in touch. And you have an amazing Sunday. And just
As
stay
well.
in that beautiful light that you're in, and continue success for you in your business. And again, I'm saying, if at any time, you want to reach out and for me to do anything or partner in it, whatever, just call away.
Okay. I'll be like